Hey everybody, it's Sharmel. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a full eyebrow routine. I'm going to show you guys how I groom my brows at home, how I tint them at home, and how I fill them in. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so starting off, this is how my eyebrows look. So I do my eyebrows once a month, and so here they are. They're pretty bushy. So first we're going to start by cleaning them up. So I like to start by just taking a spoolie and brushing all of my eyebrows hairs directly up. I feel like it allows me to see my shape a little better. And to groom, I personally like to pluck. So I use a variation of different tweezers. The larger one gets more hair, and then the smaller ones you're able to get like more precise areas. So I'm going to start by just taking my finger and lifting up the tail end of my brow, and I'm just going to start plucking those hairs underneath. So I used to get my brows waxed, I used to get them threaded, and overall I just have not had really good experience over the last few years. So the last time I got my brows waxed at a shop was May of 2019, and since then I just started keeping them clean at home. So overall, when I'm plucking, I pretty much just follow the natural shape of my eyebrows. I don't go in and create like a higher arch than what I need to. Because I've been getting my eyebrows done for so many years, I know that my natural arch is kind of on the tail end. So on the tail end of my brows where it's bushy, that's pretty much where I go in and clean up all of those extra hairs. But this is going to vary depending on your natural eyebrow shape. So yeah. So then I'm just going to brush those hairs up again, and I'm going to go in with a small pair of scissors, and I'm just cutting any hairs that are too long. So I brush them up, and any hairs that kind of lay over again my natural shape, I'm just going to go in and trim those off. And for the grooming portion, I really keep it simple. So I'll give you guys a side by side. You guys can see my eyebrow that has been cleaned up and the one that's still bushy. So this is all done through plucking and trimming with my scissors. So I did my second brow off camera, and then next we're going to move on to tinting. So I recently started tinting my eyebrows at home. I did it in a vlog a few months ago, maybe like the end of the summer last year. I tried it for the first time, and since then I've just continued to keep it up. So I'm going to start by just taking a wipe and just making sure there aren't any oils or any product on my face. And so to tint my brows, I use the Just for Men mustache and beard hair color. It comes in a two-step process, so it has the dye and then it has the developer. I take a small dot of each. You do not need a lot of product for this. So I take a small dot of the hair dye, a small dot of the developer, and then I'm just going to mix those together. Then you want to protect your skin. So I like to use Vaseline and concealer. So I take some concealer on the back of my hand, and then I take a little spoonful of the Vaseline, and then I mix them together. I feel like Vaseline is just good. It's a good barrier, but the concealer helps me like get the shape and outline of my brows the way that I like it. So I'm gonna take that concoction and I'm just going to outline my brows how I would do if I were filling them in. And so yeah, this is just going to protect your skin from getting excess dye around it. You want to make sure you don't irritate any parts of your skin or anything like that. And let me also say, I'm not a professional. Definitely do a patch test before applying this all over your face. I know everyone has different skin sensitivity, so don't just start using stuff on your face if you don't know how you're going to react. So definitely read the instructions and do a patch test before trying this at home. So yeah, I'm just outlining my brows, like I said, to protect all of the areas that I do not want to get dye on. So then I'm going to use an angled brush, and I'm going to take that dye mixture, and I'm just going to fill in my brows like I would if I were filling them in with makeup. So I just take my angled brush and I just do small hair-like strokes. I like to start like in the center and on the end of my eyebrow. I'm not necessarily doing them ombre per se, but I don't like to start at the front end of my brows because I do not want them to get too dark too fast. If my ends and my middle get too dark too fast, then I don't really mind, but I don't like my center part of my eyebrows too dark. I like it to have a natural fade in, similar to how my natural eyebrows are. So yeah, as you guys can see, now I'm working on the front end and I'm just brushing them up in small, little hair-like strokes and filling it in. And if I haven't mentioned already, I am using the color dark brown. So you want to choose a color that is similar to your natural hair color. As far as the tinting, it lasts for about maybe 1 to 2 weeks, and then it'll definitely start fading after the first week. I still only do it once a month just because I just don't find it necessary to do it like every other week. But yeah, if you're wondering, the tint lasts for about 7 to 10 days, I will say. And so it usually takes me about 5 minutes to fill them in. And then after that, I set my timer for another 10 minutes to let them sit and process. And during this processing time, your brows will get really dark, but do not freak out. Yeah, I feel like before I used to get scared to leave it too long, but after doing this for a while, I definitely don't mind letting it process for a little while. So my timer went off, and as you guys can see, my brows look super dark. I still have all that product on it. So now I'm going to take a wipe and I'm just going to wipe all of that off. And as you guys can see, my brows are super dark. So I like to tint my brows because I really only wear makeup like 1 to 2 times throughout the week. Other than that, I'm usually barefaced, but I still like my brows to be groomed. Overall, your brows really frame your face. When my brows are too messy, I feel like my skin looks dirty. So I like to tint them so that they stand out a little bit, but I don't have to be like in a full beat, or I don't have to wear makeup. I forgot to mention, but also make sure you go in and wash your face completely and fully with your face soap and everything to wash off all the extra residue before moving on to the next step. I'm still going to show you guys just my 2020 eyebrow routine. So I like to start by priming my brows, and I'm using the Benefit Professional primer, just like any face primer that you would use before your foundation. And then I also like to use the Precisely Brow Pencil from Benefit. This brow pencil is like my fave because the actual pencil part is just very fine, it's very small, and it allows you to get those super light hair strokes without making it too bold, and you can build up the intensity also if you like it. So this is like my favorite eyebrow pencil. Next, I'm going into the Benefit Brow Zings Pro palette, and I'm using the medium deep or deep color. I'll put it down below, but I really love Benefit eyebrow products. I've been using them for a while and I haven't found anything like them. And so this palette has cream and powder colors. I prefer to use the second darkest powder color, and I also use the angle brush that it comes with. And I take that powder and I outlined the bottom part of my eyebrow and the top part of my eyebrow. I don't really fill them in just because I just tinted them, so I don't really need the color. I mainly just need it to kind of solidify the shape. So yeah, I only outlined the bottom and top portion, and then I'm going to go in with some concealer, and I only clean up the bottom part of my brows. So I'm just going on the bottom and outlining my brows and cleaning up those lines. Honestly, this is not super necessary because my brows are freshly groomed, but when you want that really defined shape for your makeup, I do outline the bottom portion. But I don't like to do the top because I feel like it takes away from the naturalness of your eyebrows. And then I go in with the face powder. I'm using this Maybelline Infallible powder, and I'm just going to take a brush and blend out that concealer. So I like to use a powder to blend out my concealer because I feel like it just blends out easier. It blends out so much more like smooth and like kind of that airbrushed look, and it also sets the concealer all at the same time. And the last step is to set my brows with an eyebrow gel. Again, I'm using another Benefit product. This is the Gimme Brow in the color number 5. So I'm just going to take some of that and run it over my eyebrows, kind of brush them up and then out. And I don't need a lot of this either, but it just keeps your eyebrow hairs set into place. And y'all, that is it. So I showed you guys how I groom my eyebrows, how I tint them, and then how I also fill them in. And this is the final result. I will leave a list of all the products that I use down below in the description box. I hope you all enjoyed this video and it was helpful. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye.